journey into a state. The beginning is the end. The end is only the beginning.
Hello, 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 my beautiful people out there. How are you doing? Um, first of all, there are a few things that I definitely want to talk about today. But obviously, just so you know, I put the link to YouTube on the top of this live because some of the stuff that I'm going to be showing you. Um, they'll probably block it, take it off, mute it, whatever the situation might be, make it to where you can't comment anymore. So, what I'm probably going to do is I'll keep this running as long as I can. But go to Quote the Raven Show on YouTube to see the whole show because I'm pretty sure Facebook is probably going to somehow mute it, um, block it, make it to where you can't comment, all that fun stuff. So welcome, welcome, welcome to Quote the Raven Show, another episode. These are crazy times we're living in, and I didn't get much sleep last night. Hi, Chauncey. Hi, Jocelyn. Thanks for joining. Um, uh, and I'll kind of explain why. I don't know, so some of you probably don't know this, but my son is, he's worked very hard for this. He was in the military. Um, and served and came back. He really worked very hard and is now a new cadet police officer for the sheriff's department here in Wichita, Kansas. So um, I was very scared last night, very scared for everybody involved because I knew that this, I am so for this protest. And so are they. So are a lot of the police officers. A lot. I can't speak for all of them. But what I will say is this: that they've been talking about how they want to march with the protesters as well for this cause. They see it as a positive change. They want to know what the community thinks and how we can make things better and evolve positively. So, with that being said, there was a lot of destruction last night in Wichita, and I was very sad to see it. And there was a lot that was stopped. A lot of people won't know that. They won't know how much was stopped, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize. And the fact that the police was out there at 21st in Arkansas telling people to go home. It wasn't to stop your message. It was to protect you because they knew what was coming. They knew what was coming. So, and of course, the people are going to twist it and think that they're just trying to prevent the cause, and that's not it at all. So, and also, happy birthday, Chauncey. Happy birthday. Um, so yeah, so I'm probably, like I said, I'm on Facebook, but go to, I'm going to be looking at the comments over in YouTube because it's very, very possible that Facebook's going to cut me off for showing some stuff, and it's going to be considered fake news or false or whatever. It's just going to happen. I do not condone the violence, looting, and destruction. Yeah. And it was, I'm not gonna lie, I did cry last night, guys. I saw the destruction of one of my favorite quick trips, and it was just, I think, very surreal. It's one thing to see it happening around the world, but I think it's another to see it happening in your own neighborhood. That's very eye-awakening. And you know, we've been through, Jesus, guys, we have been through so much. Hi, Eric. How are you doing? Thanks for joining in. You know, I want to play music for you guys, and I want to show you some more band interviews. But right now, my heart is so heavy. I was going to do that today. I was just going to, because I've got so many band interviews that I was just going to air some of those that I've already recorded. But I needed, I guess I need this just as much as you guys do to reach out and talk and communicate and be upset, be angry, be mad. You know, and like I said, we have been through so much since January. We're all locked in our homes, scared to death that this was like a zombie virus at first. We didn't know what we were dealing with. And then now this. And I have seen stories of people who have had businesses for 20, 30, 40 years, put their whole life savings in this, and tried to protect their business and got killed or in the hospital. And I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I think it's just really sad. A lot of sadness. A lot of sadness in the world right now. A lot of sadness. I'm really trying really hard. I'm fighting hard to fight the tears. I don't cry much, but you know what? I think we all deserve it to cry. It's just such a sad time for us to live right now, and there's so much destruction and disaster going on, and mentally as well. I think we're all mentally broke down. We're no matter what, you know, I know a lot of you, and you're fighters, strong-willed more than you even know. And you know, I think you need to know that. But sometimes you do need to cry. Sometimes you just need to step back and say, damn it, enough is enough. All right, guys. Well, there's a couple of things I did want to show you, and it's going to be about this topic today. But I wanted you to kind of see, I mean, it's a lot of you've already seen probably, but I'm going to show some stuff that went on last night too, but I'm gonna switch on over to YouTube, guys, because on the comments, because I know Facebook's probably going to cut me off. But thank you guys so much for joining, and I'm going to switch over now, just so you know that I'm there. Okay, so I am there now, guys. I'm over on the YouTube side, so the link is above the Facebook. So if you're on Facebook right now, please switch over to the YouTube, because if you comment on the Facebook, I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to see it. So let's talk about some of these things going on, shall we? I did put something together here for you guys. I kind of wanted to show you some things that are kind of going on around the world. So here we go. See if I can do this right. So just a little bit of what's going on out there. And like I said, I know we're living in really tough times right now, guys. And I want change. I think we all do. We all do. We all want the change. But we got to do it in a positive manner. That's the key. And I've said it before, please know the difference between a protester and a rioter or looter. Huge difference. Huge difference. One wants to create chaos and destruction, and one wants positive change. That is the difference. So, all right. Let's see what's going on, or that happened last night. This was some of the stuff that went on last night. This is the first one. This is the first actual video that the Liberty ICT was able to capture before the cops got there. And this is one of the quick trips that I love. And obviously it's going to be down for a while. So here is that. Let's see if I can find it here. All right, you guys. Ugh. Here you go.
Oh my God, they fucking creature up. They fucking creature up, bitch. Come on, give me a drink. Ooh, they fucking creature up. Give me a drink. Give me a drink. Oh, give me one, really? Ooh, they fucking creature up. Ooh. Ooh. Bree, come here. They fucking creature up, y'all. They fuck crit trip up. Ooh! They fucking crit trip up. Get the fuck out! Girl, leave them alone. They grown. Get the fuck out! Girl, leave them alone.
People don't listen when you do this. They refuse to listen to what we have to say.
It's okay, baby. Yeah, give me some chips. Ooh!
Okay, so I just have to pause this real quick because I'm going to talk about it. First of all, as you can see, they're inciting it. They're thinking it's okay. They're grown. They're grown. That's what she was saying. They're grown. Then it proceeds on to, there's obviously somebody there. I think that was probably one of the actual protesters that was like, oh, my hair is like going crazy. One of the protesters that was actually like, get out of there. Get out of there. I mean, she knew this is not a good thing. So let's continue on here.
Ooh, they fucked this motherfucker up, y'all. They fucked Richard up.
I got that some snacks. You cool?
Period. Look. Going down. Let's go to Walmart. Let's go to Walmart, bitches. Let's go to Walmart.
Okay, again. So let's destroy the Quick Trip. And then now we're going to go to Walmart. This is what we're up against, folks. This is what we're up against. We're up against they're just wanting free stuff. They just want free stuff. They don't care about the movement. They don't care. It means nothing to them because if it did, they wouldn't do this. They're mocking a man's murder. They're mocking several thousands of people's murders. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't know how much more I can take of this, but we'll continue on this. So here you go.
Fuck them up. They fuck Crit Trip up. Look at them. They fuck. Go get y'all some shit. Fuck them. Fuck them. Ah! Period. Let me some shit. Fuck them. Nigga, they fuck
Shredded that motherfucker.
They shredded that motherfucker.
They let them shit.
Shit, they fucked them Chris Trip up, y'all. They fucked Chris Trip up. They fucked Chris Trip up. Look, that girl is trying to save her. Look. Ooh.
I can't even record it.
Ooh. Y'all, look at her. She got this stick out. Bitch, you said, give me some chips. On God, give me some chips, bitch. On God, my really got me beat 3 bags of chips. Bitch, who is that on my Challenger? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Ooh, shit, go. What is it? Why are y'all running? Oh, why they running? Oh, fuck them, shit. They fucked Chris Trip up, boy. I got it good. Ooh, I got Chris. Ooh, they. Come on, let's go to Walmart. Shit. Fuck, y'all down? Tell them motherfuckers, let's go to Walmart.
Another bag of chips?
Hey, don't. Please don't touch.
4 bags of chips.
We got 4 bags of chips. Fuck them. Can we go to Walmart?
Okay, can we go to the
Damn, can we go to the shit? Look, shook. Oh, they beating her up. They beating her up. Hold on, y'all. They beating her up. Oh, shit. They beating her up. Yep, I'm going live. Oh, go in there. Fuck them.
So, yeah. So that happened. Now this is the aftermath when the cops actually got there. There was a couple of videos right before this, but this is kind of the last one. It's probably the best one to show. It's, yeah. And again, thank you, ICT, Liberty ICT, for documenting this stuff and putting it on your page. I will be putting the links in the description after I've gone live to share where this came from. So if you guys want to go check that out in the other videos that they do have. So here is the aftermath of that from last night. Here you go.
Alright, flash grenades are being shot in our direction. I apologize for getting off there. My phone wasn't working for you guys. Thank you for joining Liberty ICT. They, WPD shot up a couple flash grenades. Wow, we have gunshots. Alright, that was a firework. We have people fighting between themselves. You want me to toss them? Yeah. I'm tossing some of my shoes here. Yeah, there you go. Sorry. Football. Horrible throw. I don't know who else has gotten broken into. I don't know if the O'Reilly's was broken into or Metro were broken into again. But so far, my property is safe. I saw this individual cleaning earlier. Hi, I don't mean to bug you. Were you picking up some trash a bit ago?
Yeah, I'm trying to clean up, but they keep trying to like shoot over me, so I'm getting a little little scared and I can't get to my car either. My car's over there.
I apologize. I
No,
saw.
you're good, man. Oh, you know what? I was watching you earlier when you were amazed. That's
Oh.
actually when I started heading over.
Well, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. You know, trying to keep it clean around here.
Yeah. It's a fucking mess, dude. Like, that's the last thing we need is just more litter in our city. Like, I get you're trying to prove a point. I'm here for it. I support it. But, you know, if I can't even clean because cops trying to get at me, that's become a problem, you know.
Exactly. Again, oh, water. Again, thank you for what you are doing. Be safe out here, please. Take care. We had someone earlier picking up trash. I have flashlights in my area, or they're flashing a flashlight in my area, so I don't want to get. Oh, they shot him at the O'Reillys. That one. I'm gonna set this up so I'm not shaking the camera as much.
So I'm going to fast forward here a little bit.
All right, sorry.
There was a couple of things I wanted to show you. If I can find it here. Let's see, is this it?
Okay. All right, I'm gonna get the fuck out the way because I am getting tear gas.
Arkansas.
22nd Arkansas.
I saw your video, that's why. Come on, tear
Okay.
gas.
I'm here with a business owner that's watching his business.
This nigga. Again.
How's it going, man? Be safe out here. Oh, that's what okay. Good to see you, man. Be safe.
You too.
Um,
Be safe.
We do have a business owner out here, and he's watching his property that is down there past the police.
Give me anything.
Will do, boss. Be safe, you too, man.
Battery.
I mean, obviously, the
Yeah, I'm being asked if I have battery this
police
time. I got
did get
32%, so.
this under control,
It's
but
about to get real. It's really
let's
about
see if I
to
can find.
Again, guys, if you're just jumping on with Liberty ICT, thank you for coming. We're here on 21st Street in between Waco
I think it's right
and
here.
Kansas. Can't talk. Liberty ICT.
Let me go back a little bit here.
Alright, I'm next to a group of individuals that might be seeing some tear gas. Yup. That's my wife's business. I know. My friend, thank you for coming out. We're Can't Talk Liberty ICT. I'm glad you're out here, my man.
Y'all want combat here. This is what you're bringing. Militarization of the police. I'm a veteran. I don't want this shit. Fucking use your brains, people. This isn't freedom. This is anarchy. Fuck.
The lady that was by herself, I am not too sure.
So just pausing it there. I am not sure who that gentleman was, but a lot of people were out there last night doing the same thing. They were trying to protect their businesses and their property from not getting completely destroyed. So yeah, it's been heart-wrenching to watch all of this go down, you guys, and don't say it can't happen in your neighborhood, because it definitely can. It definitely can. We live in middle America. So yeah. And there's I mean, there's a lot to it. If you would like to see the rest of that video, I will put it in the description box once this live is done for you guys, so you guys can go to those sites that I was able to find all of this. There is one more that I definitely want to show you. You can go subscribe. He's on YouTube or Facebook. He goes by either Tim Cast or Tim Pool. I was introduced to him from a friend. And he's like not on either side. He's one of those that he sees it for the truth that it is, which I love about him because he's not biased at all. Yeah, check him out. I will, again, I will link his information in the description as well after this live is over. But his name again on this one is Tim Pool. But he has a pretty awesome video that I really I saw it today and I was like, oh, I love that, you know. See if I can pull it up here. Yeah. All right, give me a second. And now this is some information talking about the unnamed group's planned protest violence in advance. So it's all the stuff that's being planned in advance. So I thought this was a very interesting talk. So I thought I'd share it with my viewers as well. Again, his name is Tim Pool or Tim Cast on this one. It is under his Tim Pool YouTube account. You can find it on Facebook as well. Please go and like and subscribe to his channel. He does bring a lot of amazing news and updates as well. So here you go for that. If I can get it to do what I want here. I gotta find it. Hold on. All right, hold on a second. I gotta find out where my thing is at. I think it's actually over here, so let me find it over here. Yeah, it is over here. Hold on. Nope, not gonna do it. Okay, well, I'll just put it on a different screen is what I'll do. Here, give me just a second here to screencast this. Oh, wrong one. Of course, it's the wrong one. Yep. All right, here you guys go. This is Tim Pool on the officials say unarmed groups plan protest violence in advance.
A couple days ago, I did a segment talking about how these riots across the country were pre-planned by extremist groups. There was a video that went viral showing a young man finding a big stack of bricks outside of a courthouse, and there was no construction anywhere in sight. He said, "This is a setup." We now have many more instances of activists finding big stacks of bricks in areas where protests are planned. And in response to this, various jurisdictions are calling this out, saying they have seen evidence that extremist groups, likely anarchists, which I think is wrong, but we'll get to that, have been planning this and dropping off weapons and gasoline and other objects they can use to incite violence and cause maximum damage. But outside of the speculation, the calls for investigations, we actually have a video now. A black woman holding a brick walks up to a car, knocks on the window and says, "Why did you give this brick to young black men? They can get in trouble." The activists inside, or whatever you want to call them, apologize. And it's a bunch of young white Antifa-looking extremists who take back the brick. So this is the best evidence we have so far of far left extremists going around giving weapons to people to incite violence. It doesn't prove that all the bricks were laid out by Antifa, but I'll tell you this. They tried blaming the far right. But I have been around many of these far left extremists. I have seen them plan just these things. They talk about getting vans, loading them up with bricks, driving up in the wee hours of the morning and planting them. And now we have some evidence to suggest it. But more than that, numerous jurisdictions. We got New York, Minnesota, Chicago, Kansas City, it looks like, all saying they have found weapons and riot materials littered throughout their cities. Well, now Trump is getting tough. On a call with various governors, he said he wants to see these riots dominated. And Bill Barr is stepping in and will be going after Antifa. We've already gotten a perp walk in Nashville. They arrested someone and they propped him up for a photograph. They are going to come after each and every one of these people who's engaged in this behavior. One guy in Portland punted a man's face full force while he lay unconscious on the ground, and now his face is all over the internet. These people don't seem to realize this is not a game, and law enforcement will come for you. They have your face on camera. That you're not getting away with any of this. It's just a matter of time. Chicago is calling for an investigation into who organized this, and they're going to be able to track the money down. So let's take a look at what's happening, and we'll start with the New York Police Department saying unnamed groups had planned the violence in advance. And I'll show you all the other jurisdictions, and then we'll talk about what this means for law enforcement. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There are several ways you can give, but the best thing you can do is share this video. Now, this more than ever. I think people need to know that this is being planned out. Let me remind you, in Washington, D.C., just the other day, this video goes viral. A man was seen breaking up the sidewalk with a hammer, and the peaceful protesters stopped him and handed him over to the police because the real protesters don't want this. It's these weird far leftist insurrectionists who want to incite the violence as a pretext for some kind of rebellion. And they have a lot of allies in the media. And there's a lot of viral posts. Now, I'll be honest, it's hard to know who the activists are and who the insurrectionists are because that's the point. They specifically say to these groups and organizing these Antifa groups, you can't let them know you're actually Antifa. You have to make them think you're something else, maybe like Black Lives Matter. So anyway, the point there is, I think it's important people know about these various jurisdictions calling this out. You can share the video, it really does help, or just hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell to get more videos like this. And let's actually get to the hard news here. NYPD official says unnamed groups planned protest violence in advance from NBC New York. They say New York's top terrorism official says there's evidence that members of anarchist groups from outside the city intentionally planned to incite violence at protests calling for justice for George Floyd. Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence and Counterterror, John Miller, said there is a high level of confidence within the NYPD that these unnamed groups had organized scouts, medics, and supply routes of rocks, bottles, and accelerants for breakaway groups to commit vandalism and violence. There are strong indicators they planned for violence in advance using at times encrypted communications, he said. 1 out of every 7 arrests of 686 so far had been people from out of state. He said those arrested came from Massachusetts, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Iowa, Nevada, Virginia, Maryland, Texas, and St. Paul, Minnesota. What are these people from Minnesota doing in New York City?
I'm going to stop it real quick and talk about that. So, yeah, he's got a very valid point. That's something that we're hearing all over the United States, that people are not from the actual cities that are doing this damage and the rioting and the looting. But I know some of them are. I think some, and the sad thing is that I'm seeing is they're kids. They are like between the ages of even 15 to 25 years old. I don't see many older people. It's mostly kids. And that's really sad. So let's go back here.
Long ways to travel. And what they're saying here, look, I have personally witnessed the people planning things like this long time ago, not this specifically, but I've seen activists talk about leaving jugs of water out so that activists who get dehydrated can drink the water. There's a viral video right now showing a bunch of police destroying water bottles, and the left-wing activists are outraged, saying the police are looting. How could they destroy water? They're destroying the water because it's used by activists to rehydrate as they riot. It is pre-planned. Now, I think maybe it does go too far because everybody needs water, regardless of if they're rioting or not. We don't want anyone to die. But they're setting up resources throughout the city so they can maximize the damage they do. And that being said, I'm not surprised the police would actually take the water. But there's more. You see, Minnesota had said that they believed outside influences, either foreign or domestic, were manipulating these protests. Well, now they take it one step further. Public Safety Commissioner reports caches of incendiaries, flammable materials found in areas of Metro. The Minnesota Department of Public Safety Commissioner John Harrington reported Sunday evening that law enforcement officers have located incendiary and flammable materials that have been cached in the metro as protests continue in reaction to the death of George Floyd. According to Harrington, a number of the caches were found in areas where fires had previously been set. I want to stop right here because I've done a video on this and it got a couple 100,000 views. But I did a video earlier in the morning about this being organized insurrection. It got substantially more views. And I want to make sure this is included in these developments. In the Bay Area, 2 federal officers were shot. 1 was killed. A white van pulled up a panel. They opened the side panel door with a rifle, shot at both of them, killing one of them. This is shocking. It's shocking evidence of organization beyond just some young people. Now I know we have the video of young people handing out bricks, but these are just the useful idiots who think they're playing some fantasy game. Their faces are on camera. They are going to go to prison.
This is, I'm going to stop this again and let's talk about that. So you can't go out and kill somebody else. And there's lots of people dying to make a point. That's chaos. That's not, like he said, it's not, this is the purpose and the message of this protest is not to kill other people or even to kill the cops. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, those cops that were involved, they all need to go to jail. They need to serve the rest of their life in prison. All 4 of them. Because they all 4 were involved. Not just 1, all 4. And they don't need to be on good terms getting out early. No, they need to go away for the rest of their life. And I think everybody feels that way. I think everybody feels that way. Because and the thing is I think we're just... We're tired, no matter what. You know, I heard something. I should have brought that video up, but there was a video of this young black man who had a shirt that said "Free Hugs" on it, and he was in the middle, just in between police in riot gear and the protesters, and he started hugging the police in riot gear. And then, of course, you know, the protesters started yelling at him, you know, traitor, blah, blah, blah. What about George? And blah, blah, blah. And he said something that really touched me. He said, the uniform he wears doesn't make him a robot. He didn't kill George. He said, the uniform or the skin color you have doesn't make you a criminal. And I loved that. I thought, well said. Well said. I couldn't have said it any better. That's such an amazing statement to make. You are defined by your character. Your character. I think people have forgotten that. Your character defines you. And if you show your character is a rioter and looter and you want to destroy people's lives or kill people's lives in the process, yeah, you're not going to do anything but incite more chaos, and people are going to be against you. And that I think that's what people need to understand too, is that it's not, to me, this is my, you can think I'm wrong, but to me, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin now. You know what it is? It is us against them. It's evil versus good. That's what it is. And it doesn't matter the color of your skin, because you can have all skin colors be over here rioting and looting and destroying people's lives and killing other people and killing other police officers and whatever. That's evil to me. That's evil to me. And I will be against you. Over here, you're a protester for a meaningful purpose or positive change. I don't care what your skin color is either. Let's do it together. There is a purpose for the whole word united. United States of America. And that's what We don't need history to repeat itself. That's what everybody's tired of. We need to move forward and let's move to it. Let's evolve. It's 2020. Can we please evolve? United we stand. That's what I think people have truly forgotten what those words mean. All right, I'm ranting today. I am. I'm completely ranting. I've been upset since this whole thing happened, and it's just, I think, gotten more and more as we go. So let's listen a little bit more to Tim. It's Tim Cass, but on this one it's Tim Pool. So here you go.
Some young woman drove up in New York with a Molotov cocktail. Her and some guy, 2 lawyers. They're getting federal charges. They're going to prison. This is not a game. These young, dumb people don't realize what's really going on. And they're going to spend a very long time behind bars because of it. But take a look at this one. Minneapolis police. Well, this is kind of what we just saw. Incendiary materials and accelerants, like water bottles full of gasoline, have been found hidden in the bushes and throughout neighborhoods in Minneapolis. If you find or see anything, please call 911. Chicago. Quote, there is no doubt this was an organized effort. The mayor says she sees strong evidence to that effect, and she's seeking federal help to determine who did what. KC Police. We have learned of and discovered stashes of bricks and rocks in and around the plaza and Westport to be used during a riot. If you see anything like this, you can text 911 and let us know so we can remove them. This keeps everyone safe and allows your voice to continue to be heard. Donald Trump recently posted this video. Perhaps the most egregious video. It's going viral, and this dude is in a world of trouble. We don't really know what's happening in this video, but this is direct evidence that there are people with cash funding what's happening on these streets. Now, I got to be careful here. You got to be very careful with this. This man is seen, presumably, handing out money. It's hard to know for sure because of the man blocking him. But you can see here, it looks like he's closing his wallet, putting it in his pocket. And he says something about getting whatever you can get. And then he says, we got 3 picnic tables over here. The left has said this man was simply trying to buy water and supplies and food and things like that so that people are healthy and safe. And that's fair. However, conservatives have said it's evidence that they're either paying the protests to engage in this behavior, the protesters or the rioters, or they're funding them in any capacity. And so I'll stop right there. Regardless of whether or not this man is being paid to riot, Donald Trump says, anarchists, we see you. I'm going to address that after this. Regardless of what the intent was, it appears we have what looks like a far left activist providing cash to another man. In the end, what does it really mean? Somebody gave someone money? Do they know each other? Are they buddies? Was he saying, go pick up some pizzas for us? We really, really don't know. But I often say this. It doesn't really matter what is true in these situations. And that's what's really scary. It matters what people think. And the president has just posted this video in which people believe activists, at the very least, are providing cash resources to the rioters in any capacity. Like I mentioned, the water. Yeah, people need water, man. I don't like the idea of cops dumping out water and destroying it because I don't want to see people dehydrated no matter who they are. I want everybody to be safe. Yeah, and that means even the bad people. Look, when you're in war and you've got an enemy combatant and they're injured, you provide first aid to them. It's because people are, they're not trying to be evil, but you get real problems then. These guys have access to resources and funding through whoever these people are. But I don't want to speculate on what this video is. He mentioned something about going and getting whatever it is you can. I don't know what that means. But in the end, Trump supporters, conservatives will view this in a very negative light. When you take this video into consideration with all the other statements made by the police, it does not look good. Now, I want to make sure I address what they're saying about anarchists. These people are not anarchists. They are not. Oh, sure. Some of them will draw the anarchist A on the side of buildings, but these people are not anarchists. Antifa is a direct reference to a historical group that had connections to the Communist Party of Germany. Anybody who seeks to use violence to enforce their ideology is inherently not an anarchist. Anarchy means without authority. That's the actual root of the word. So I want to make sure that's clear. Anarchists on the right are all about free trade and laissez-faire capitalism, and real anarchists on the left are sitting in the jungles doing hippie dances. Not this. Of course, there can be an overlap because the far left is the far left. But let's make that clear. Many of these people might claim to be anarchists, but I don't think it's fair to the actual hippies sitting on a farm eating watermelon and the anarcho-capitalists that you call them as such. Let's be fair to the people who actually don't believe in authority, and they don't like Donald Trump either, but they also don't believe in attacking people. What we're seeing from Antia is violent authoritarianism. The idea that they can use force to make you, to bend you to their will. That is authority. That is you saying you have the authority over them, that you determine what is right instead of having a conversation about it. These people are not anarchists. But take a look at these photos. This is from Conservative Realist. I can't confirm these photos. I've seen many people posting them, but it is going viral. And it looks similar to a lot of what we've seen before. It says, Frisco, Texas. There have been groups organizing protests in Frisco for 5 p.m. this evening. All of a sudden, this shows up on the path of the protest. You want to tell me this is not planned and organized now? In this photo, we can see a stack of bricks. For what? There's nothing around. And people have been pointing out there are bricks just all over the place. What is this?
Yeah, that's something that I've noticed too. I don't know if any of you guys have, from what city you're from, but that's, I mean, I know there was a story where one of the pile of bricks, it was, an older man had been waiting for them, I guess, for a long time to do a project. So I don't think all of them are, for bad reasons, for the riot. But it's definitely questionable as to what he's saying. You know what I mean? I think it's something we need to be looking at. And I think the police are aware of it as well and investigating. It's just sad to me that to do that, to incite the rioters to create the damage. You know what I mean? It's just sad. All right, here we go.
Just some cones and some bricks just placed right there. Some people have said, oh, well, maybe it's from after construction that they've left them there. No, I'm not entirely sure. Here's a tweet from Shuanhead who says, so what's up with the conveniently placed pile of bricks? Is this a video game? Here's the first video we saw a few days ago where this guy says this is a setup. Here's another photograph. Who is setting up the bricks? No construction going on in these areas, but pallets of bricks in cities across the country ready to throw, just popping up everywhere. Someone has to be looking into this, right? There's just a big old stack of bricks. You know what? Here's another one where they pull apart these construction barriers. Stack of bricks. Maybe we can make some argument that it's the far right, knowing they can set up the activists so that they'll grab the bricks and use them, and then the far right can say, gotcha. I mean, that's not Occam's razor, right? The simple solution is the far left wants to riot and the far left wants bricks when they riot. So, and that being said, I know many far leftists who have talked about things like this over the past decade. When I've seen from all the Occupy stuff that I covered, all the on the ground protests I've covered, I've seen them talking about doing this. But it doesn't matter. We got video evidence. A little bit. Very, very little bit. Take a look at this. This tweet says,
okay, so before I continue, I watched this and I mean, I don't know if this is staged or not, or if this is real. But if this is real, yes, this is hardcore evidence. But how do you prove it? You know what I mean? But here, take a look at this.
This woman right here, she walks up with a brick. Let me see if I can play this so you can see what's going on. She's holding a brick in her hand. She hands it back to the people. And she's yelling at them saying, why are you giving bricks to young black men? They're going to get in trouble for this. Think about the logic behind what is going on with these people in this vehicle. Let's see if I can try and get a better shot of who they are. You can clearly see young white people wearing masks. They're apologizing. Oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. You can hear the young woman in the back saying she's sorry. Think about that logic for a second. I do think it's funny that a lot of people said these people were white supremacists because, well, you got to call it like you see it, right? What do you call a group of white people placing weapons and bricks in poor and black neighborhoods and gasoline so that poor areas get burnt down. White people organizing protests in poor areas, showing up and burning things down. I get it. They're not, by the literal definition, white supremacists, but they're certain they may as well be. You know, they can say whatever they want. I mean, actions speak louder than words. This woman caught them giving out bricks. Now, here's the thing. We don't see her giving the red car giving out the bricks. This could be staged. Honestly, I have no idea. It's very hard to confirm this. We just have a video of this woman walking up to the car with a brick in her hand and saying, "Why are you giving young black men bricks?" And the Antifa looking type saying, I'm sorry, and taking the brick back. Based on this, who should I assume is laying bricks out across these cities, laying gasoline? Well, the far left, man. Come on. Let's not play any games. Well, the New York Times plays some games because they act like they're stupid. Officials see extremist groups, disinformation, and protests. They talk about bots on Twitter. They talk about how disinformation is being spread. They talk about organized efforts from the far left, but they also talk about organized efforts from the far right. And come on, man. Look, for years, they put up all these videos talking about the far right boogeyman we all had to be scared of. Yeah, well, when the riots came down, it wasn't the far right. It was a bunch of far leftists leading the charge. It was Antifa leading the charge. It was left-wing activists providing the cash. In this, they try and talk about disinformation campaigns, but they also talk about the Boogaloo Boys. Others have seen evidence of right-wing extremists. J.J. McNabb, a fellow at George Washington University's program on extremism, has been monitoring chatter about the protests among anti-government extremists. She has access to dozens of private Facebook groups for followers of the loosely organized Boogaloo movement, which uses an 80s movie sequel as a code word for our second civil war. So that's what they think. She says they want to co-opt them in order to start their war. They see themselves as being on the side of the protesters, and that the protesters themselves are useful in causing anarchy. I hate that they use anarchy all the time. It just means without authority. That's not what these people are fighting for. Some of them maybe, but most of them no. But you can see that they're going to try and paint it as whatever. Well, Bill Barr is deploying federal riot teams to D.C. and Miami to quell unrest, according to the DOJ. And Donald Trump has come out and straight up said it. He slams the governors as weak and urges the crackdown on riots. What did the AP say? Protests? Oh, spare me. You know what they do? That's why they do it. For the longest time, the media has been calling these things protests. No. Hold on. Everybody's been happy with the protests.
Yeah.
And everybody's been happy when the police
don't
respect
use
them.
that word.
In Flint, Michigan, the sheriff took his helmet off and they marched together. He said, let's make it a parade. Heartwarming. In D.C., the protesters, the legal First Amendment people protesting stopped Antifa. What we don't like are the cops who are going up to the protest and starting violence. And what we don't like are the rioters going up to cops and starting the violence. These are the problems. So yes, some of these departments and these cops are to blame, and some of these and all of the rioters, really, when it comes to the craziness, a lot of the cops you see reacting the way they are is because of the rioters. But the media has been calling them protesters. Why? That way, when Trump said, you've got to arrest these people, they would keep saying protester. And now it sounds like Trump is saying the grieving people he supported only a couple days ago need to be crushed and arrested. That's the power of language. Trump's clearly talking about the rioters. Come on. But they're going to say protester because, well, they're scared of the rioters. And it really is that simple. This is the challenge that I have with many of these far left activists, even the peaceful ones. Okay, you're allowed to peacefully protest. But the issue is the peaceful protesters provide cover for the extremists. It's not the fault of the peaceful protesters. They're allowed to do it. It's the fault of the extremists. But then the media uses the protesters as cover. The media is scared that the rioters and the extremists will come for them. And they have. So what do? They beg. They beg and they pander. And then they do this. Trump said, most of you are weak. You have to arrest people. The president urged the governors to deploy the National Guard, which he credited for helping calm the situation Sunday night in Minneapolis. He demanded that similarly tough measures be taken in cities that also experienced a spasm of violence, like New York, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles. You've got to arrest people. You have to track people. You have to put them in jail for 10 years, and you'll never see this stuff again, said Trump. We're doing it in Washington, D.C. We're going to do something that people haven't seen before. Yeah, it's called a perp walk. You want to see what a perp walk looks like? First, take a look at this story from the Daily News. Woman identified by sources as Brooklyn lawyer accused of tossing Molotov cocktail at NYPD cruiser, used Bud Light bottle for incendiary device. Well, there's the photo. Somebody caught her. This was seemingly a normal woman. How she was radicalized, I don't know. Probably Facebook, not YouTube, because YouTube tends to be against this kind of stuff, no matter who it's coming from. And I mean the YouTubers, all of them. All the political commentary people are like, this is, okay, 99% of them. But now this seemingly regular lawyer decided for some stupid reason to show up with a Molotov cocktail. Guess what? Now her face gets to go everywhere. 10 years, Trump says? Oh, come on. She's facing multiple felonies. Take a look at this lawyer. They arrested him. They caught them. Here's another story. These two young women tried lighting a Molotov and throwing it at an NYPD vehicle. Why? Your face is now plastered all over the internet. You see, perp walks existed at a time when we didn't have the internet. So you'd see the cops walk them out, and it was a publicity stunt often, so people could see who these people were when they were getting arrested. Well, now we get to see your photos all over social media. These people, these two women actually had their charges reduced, which I think is insane. They tried throwing a Molotov at an NYPD vehicle. They were initially charged with attempted murder. But we got some legit perp walks. Here's one. Metro Nashville. Specialized Investigations Division detectives and SWAT officers moments ago arrested Wesley Summers, 25, on charges of felony arson, vandalism, and disorderly conduct for setting a fire to Nashville's historic courthouse Saturday night. They will find you. What do these people think? They're stupid young people who have spent too much time watching stupid news and being radicalized by far leftists to be used as pawns in their weird insurgency. Some of these people are the organizers themselves. But it is a known fact, I should say, probably not to enough people, that these anti-fascist groups infiltrate regular protests and designate people who are their useful idiots. That's why they leave bricks around randomly. They want you to use them to provide them with cover for the insane things they plan on doing, like going to the Bay Area and firing out of a van at federal officers. What do you think comes next after that? That's why these people are now getting arrested. I feel bad for a lot of them. They're just dumb kids. They really are. Andy No caught these two guys. You see this man laying on the ground? This man laying on the ground was going to be kicked. And these guys, well, there's their faces. That's the face of the men who did it. So maybe Trump is right. You got to come after these people. You got to strike. You got to put them in jail for 10 years. Look, man, I don't know what the right thing to do is, but I will tell you, if you engage in this behavior, if you hurt innocent people, then eventually they will find you. They'll come to your house. What did you think was going to happen? You ever see Fight Club? Reminds me of that scene when they bring in Robert Paulson to the table from that disastrous moment. And he says, you're running around trying to blow things up. What did you think was going to happen? These kids, man, you know what? I'll tell you. Some people have said, I think it was Trump mentioned, or he quoted someone from Fox, that we saw a lot of this early on from Occupy Wall Street. But I'll tell you what, man, these kids being arrested, 25, he was 15 years old. He was 16 years old when Occupy Wall Street happened. He has no idea what's going on. None of these people do. Look at these two young women. How old is she? 27. She was just a teenager. She was 17 or 18 when Occupy was going on. She had no idea what was happening around her. Well, now they've thrown their lives away. This won't end pretty for anybody. But I'll wrap it up with this. The evidence is here, man. I mean, this stuff is pre-planned. Call it what you want. I'll leave it there. Stick around. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. YouTube.com/TimCastNews. And I'll see you all then.
So there you go, guys. Definitely wanted to share that with you guys. I had a lot of information about what's going on out there and a lot of sites and subscribers. Go to Timcast or Timpool on Facebook or YouTube and subscribe and like his channel. He does give a lot of information about what's going on, which is awesome. And you know, I think, like I said, you know, I'm really sad for our young people, because whether, you know, these kids that are doing this writing, it's really sad, guys. I don't, they don't know what they're doing. I mean, if they do know what they're doing, you can't use that mentality of, oh, they're young and stupid, because guess what? They're seriously going to pay for it. And if it does happen, like what Trump is saying, that they're going to put them away for 10 years, think about that. Even if they were 18 years old, they're going to be 28 years old when they get out. How sad. I mean, that's 10 years of their prime of their life. I can't even imagine. So, yeah. I know we're living in crazy times, and I think the biggest thing is you all just be very safe. Be safe with what you're doing out there. Make sure that the message that we're trying to put out there for this protest doesn't get lost, because we need that positive change. We need to move forward and evolve in a positive direction in every aspect. With the police policies, that's the first step. There are so many other levels and that we need to take this for positive change. We have to, because we definitely don't want to go the other direction and have history repeat itself, because that's not going to do any of us any good. So I guess in closing, you guys take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Be smart. Don't go breaking into Quick Trip for 4 bags of potato chips, because guess what? You could possibly do 10 years. Oh, well, maybe not, but you know what I'm saying? You're going to, why? What was the point of that? So the people next day can't go to work. And then now you're affecting several different other people's lives. Or even taking it a step further and destroying a business. Putting people's lives out of just financial recoil, or even killing those business owners that are trying to protect their businesses. It's sad. It's sad. And I've heard rumors, doesn't mean this is true, but I've heard rumors that some of these rioters are planning to go into neighborhoods, houses. I hope to God that doesn't happen. So, you know, be prepared to protect your family. You know, I think that's important. But man, I'm truly hoping that we can get past this to a point to where something positive comes out of it, not negative. I hope it. I mean, I know things are probably going to get worse before they get better, but I'm hoping that better comes sooner than later. So in closing, you guys take care of yourself. Be safe. I love you all. Your opinions matter, no matter what they are. Again, you know how I work. As long as they're not hurting anybody, destroying lives, or killing lives, I'm all for your opinion. And I would never. That's something else too I want to say before I close. Don't put on Facebook that, okay, so if you think this way, then unfriend me. That's dumb, guys. That's dumb. That makes me want to post something on your post to say something of the opposite, just because. Don't tell somebody how to feel. Don't tell somebody how to feel. Really? Okay. I think I'm done with that rant. All right, guys. I love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you Friday from 3 to 4. I'm hoping soon that I can get the interview that did not go well with Waking the Sleepers at some point. I will do a 2-hour special that'll have to be on YouTube, because obviously Facebook will cut you off after about an hour and a half. So, all right. I love you guys. Yeah, be safe out there. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you very soon.